So ChatGPT is a revolutionary AI that has revolutionized the AI world and the human understanding of what an AI can do in a very neat chatbot. So these are some of the top 5 use cases in my opinion, and I'll just go through what they can do and some of the limitations. So the first one being a tutor. So as you can tell, I asked it some questions. Now here's where we run into the first problem. Now, although this is correct, like if you're asking for definitions, this is very useful. These things are true. However, if I asked it something like this, 10, 10, 22, it says it is 3.8, but that is plain wrong. It is 4.04, and yeah, it's just the round version, but it's nothing close to 3.8. Similarly, this says that and it says adjacent equals 10 centimeters times tan 22 degrees, which is false because adjacent is actually opposite over tan. So it was super confident when it mentioned that this was correct. But that is a downfall of this software. It is wrong sometimes. And the weird thing is that it actually recognizes that it was wrong. You are correct. So my question is, why did it do this in the first place if it knew that it was wrong? Next part that I found really useful is basically similar to a tutor, but more of a teacher-esque role. A question like, what's the subject of the sentence? And it says the subject of the sentence is I. They ask it why, and it gives me a full explanation. But this is where it's really neat. I said, can you quiz me on a grade 10 level of subject and predicate identification? So as you can tell, it gives me a simple one, like the cat sat on the mat, and then you have to identify it, and then I basically gave it the answer. So it doesn't really understand what I was asking it. But here's the cool part. I said, can you tell me the answer after and also make the sentence harder? So it does understand what I'm saying, because then it actually makes the sentence a little bit harder. Obviously it's longer, and it doesn't give me the answer immediately. So obviously generally it doesn't get it right on the first try, but it does get it once you basically prompt it a little bit more. It gives you the correct answer, and basically I ask it, why isn't it wearing the pink dress? It's not the predicate of the sentence, because the case is that the verb is danced, which is true. And it basically gives you an explanation, which is very useful, because things like this just don't appear on practice. If you were to practice on a paper or whatever and trying to figure out the subject and the predicate, it's not going to give you a full-blown explanation as to why these things are true. It's just going to give you this. Useful. This is something you can't search up on the internet. You can't search up specific questions okay, what is the subject of this specific sentence and what is the predicate of this specific sentence, a specific personalized search engine. However, again, one thing to keep in mind is that it's super confident when it is wrong. All-in-one tool. The third one being an all-in-one tool. Essentially, this is a summarizer. I literally copied and pasted this from the internet, and basically it gives me a nice little paragraph in its summary. This is a helper with essays. I'm literally asking it, okay, can you give me some ideas? This is gonna basically eliminate the majority of writer's block. And I know I'm kind of going on the topic of school and stuff, but I'll get to some other things a little bit later. And then I said, can you give me some quotes? And it literally cites the quotes and gives me the quotes. And if I asked it to, it'd probably tell me why it relates. Now, it also can write you a sample essay. Now, this is something more for inspiration, in my opinion. I would not recommend copying and pasting and stuff, or even just alternating stuff, because it's not your it's not your work. Another thing is they have ChatGPT or GPT detectors to take a look at the speaking patterns of how GPT-3 responds to things, and it's not super sophisticated right now, but it will get more sophisticated. So this would just be used for ideas. I basically copied and pasted this from Wikipedia. This is only a small part of the Wikipedia, so I said, can you give me feedback on this essay? Give me an approximate grade for this according to a grade 10 level. So this is what I copied and pasted from Wikipedia, and it said this is good, it flows smoothly. According to a grade 10 level, I would give this a B+. So basically it's saying add some more analysis and stuff, which is fair because I only copied the first part of it with excluding the analysis aspect of it, and this is like having another person giving you like objective feedback, resumes and stuff. So like this is literally giving you a resume. I put in this much information and it's giving you a resume. The idea of this is basically trying to improve this, and that's the cool thing about ChatGPT. It's improving. Like this is a beta version, that's why it's free. So I would personally recommend like using it up as much as you can right now before there is a paid version, because I don't think it's going to stay free for a while. This is like a very good time to like test it out, use it, get the most out of it. Okay, so now I said, write me a speech about why frozen yogurt is better than ice cream. I probably could ask it like, okay, add some more comedy in that and stuff. And then this is the fourth idea, the true fourth idea. There's just so many like subcategories you can go into, so it's kind of hard to categorize them. But I guess this is like a big category, just being like artistic inspiration, or even just the entire art. Like this is a poem, a full-blown poem about why instruments are entirely useless. Like it's really useful, and it ends on a positive note. And I said, just remove the part that justifies the learning of instruments. Now I don't say remove, but wait, I say hold on, for there's some instruments. Like I don't have to say word for word, get rid of this. It understands that this part of the poem is justifying the learning of instruments. So that's why it gets rid of it, like on the second time. Now I say make a catchy song, and now it says, okay, it's like using the part of the poem to make a song, because it remembers what it said and what you said. Like I think 2 is a good amount of prompting, just because like you can refine what it's asking you. Probably not gonna get on the first try, but more prompting you get, it's gonna give you an answer that you want. Fifth idea, the one of the most useful parts of this, in my opinion, it's coding. And as you can tell, it says, sorry, I'm not able to code. But if you say in code mode, it will literally like do this. Like it will make you an entire like website. It will, it's not going to be the most sophisticated thing in the world. And you do have to remember to say, do not repeat yourself, because one downfall of this is that it can only write 8,000 tokens, aka 8,000 characters. So say, you have to say to it, do not repeat yourself, otherwise it will continue to repeat itself and cut itself off. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind. And it's not going to say, like, you can't just say create a like rip-off version of Fortnite. Like it's not going to do that. It's going to do some of the more simpler things, like creating websites, creating like whatever, like bots and stuff, like Python bots, automation bots and stuff like that. But yeah, again, it's not going to like give you a whole thing and like use like Unreal Engine and like code you like the next AAA game that's like revolutionary. It's not going to do that, but it's very, very useful. This is some problems with ChatGPT. One other problem is, give me an analysis of the new show Wednesday. It says, sorry, I don't have information about this show called Wednesday. And it says, then I said, okay, when was the last time you were up to using the internet? And here's why this is free. It's because it's not connected to the internet. This is a beta version, as I mentioned before, so you can't ask it new things like, okay, what is Wednesday? Like, it just doesn't know. But there is a almost way to get around it, and no, it's not connecting it to the internet. But if I search up on the online, like summarize Wednesday, okay, and I'll just take a quick summary of this, and I'll say, this is that. And just basically feeding it information like a human hates new technology. Yeah. There you go. Wednesday items. Ugh, computers. Okay, stand up. We're always breaking down, freezing up, and don't even get me started on constant updates and stuff. Like, yeah. So this is literally something that Wednesday would say, right? But you literally just have to feed it knowledge, and then you have basically like a full-blown helper, essentially. Write a YouTube script. Conclusion about the use of ChatGPT. In conclusion, ChatGPT has proven to be a valuable tool for generating human-like text in a variety of applications, from customer service chatbots to language translation systems. ChatGPT has the ability to replicate natural language patterns and generate responses that are indistinguishable from those of a human. However, it's important to keep in mind that ChatGPT is still a machine learning model and is not capable of replicating the full range of human thought and emotion. While it can can produce convincing text. It is not a replacement for human interaction and should be used accordingly. Overall, ChatGPT is a powerful tool that has the potential to revolutionize the way that we communicate and interact with machines, and it'll be interesting to see how it continues to develop and it'll be used in the future. So yeah, that's just going to be my conclusion for now, because that's a very good conclusion. So yeah, I'll see you then.